By the end of this video, not only will our wide-body Giulietta be sat on the craziest wheels you've ever seen on all four corners, but it also might be the only two-door one in the world. We might have actually just like completely fried the car. Ooh, that's getting close. Hey guys, I'm Aaron's Alpha, and yes, you did hear that right. These rear doors, they're going, they're gone. If you're new here, we're building a wide-body Giulietta, and due to this sort of tiny amount of area I have here to build some wider rear arches, we're just going to get rid of these rear doors. So we're going to start off by taking out the inner door card. I want to have a look at this handle, see what I can do with the handle. Because obviously, once it's welded shut, there's no opening it again, so I need to make sure I do this right. You've got another screw behind here, another Allen key, and then we might have something behind the speaker. Pop you out. No, nothing behind the speaker. No speaker either. What? Why is there no speaker? Well, find something new every day, I suppose. Get the door switch off there. Door switch, window switch. And then we can get that last bolt. And with a couple more clicks. And a push upwards and get the door out. But no, I'm going to take this section apart because I want to see what the sort of jazz is with the handle and stuff. Right, two more again. So we've stripped the seats out, stripped these side plastics out here. I'm just going to finish up with these bits down here. There's one. And a little one down there. Get the last bolt out. And we can take this panel off. Now, a couple of reasons why we've taken all this stuff out. Avoid fire while we're welding these rear doors shut. Of course, it gets very hot. But also, so when we're working on the inside after the doors are welded shut, hopefully it should be a bit easier. Probably going to end up causing me nightmares. Probably won't be able to get half of this stuff back in, but we'll figure it out when it comes to it. Anyway, I'm going to drill some holes through this piece here so that we can reattach the door handles from the inside through the framework. At least that's my plan anyway. Obviously, don't know if you guys can see it, but we have some little scratches on where we've marked through our holes there. So we're just going to go at them with the drill. Got through that nice and easy. It looks pretty clear on the other side as well. Now if you remember some of the earlier videos when we was doing the front arches, we had a nightmare with drill bits. So I've gone and picked up, stolen from my dad's garage, some nice drill bits, and wow, they drill through a lot easier. We've got another one up here. Easy peasy. That's all done, all holes drilled. I think we are ready to grind it. We're going to do inside of the door here. the side of the door, front of the door. I need to see where the actual line is right there. And then also gonna, well, probably start with all this section. I've quickly pulled the door off, just so we've got a bit more room. I made that a struggle. Great, now I've got to do this side as well. That's secure. Secure enough for me. Let's get the grinder. There we go. She's in. Put the retaining bolt in. Not like it's going to be retaining much when the doors are welded shut. Right. It's ready. It's time. I'm just going to unlatch the handle. Should be able to do it with this with any luck. If we pull that and then. Ooh, how do you come out without breaking you? Obviously you need to come out of that bottom section and then it looks like it's stuck in there. Can't actually see how you'd get it out. Ah, figured it out. Right, door handle's out the way. It is ready to weld. Right, we're all geared up. I've grinded off a bit of the rear arch, the paint off the rear arch, so we can put our earth strap there. Hopefully it works. We'll find out very quickly. It does. That's quite far, if you ask me. I might, you know what I might try? I feel like the gap is too big. What setting am I on as well? Okay, that should be fine. Might see if I can just knock it in a little bit. We might have actually just like completely fried the car. I kept hearing like a clicking while I was doing it. I was like, what the hell is that clicking? But I bet it was just doing something on the car. Should we see if it starts? Okay, that's pretty good. It starts still at least. Whew, my heart was racing then. Air ride seems to work. Everything seems to work, luckily. That was very, very foolish of me. Both rear doors are completely welded shut now. It's all solid, not pretty by any means. I kind of obviously forgot to factor in just how big of a gap there is around the door, so it was quite a pain to weld it, but they're solid, you know, they're not going anywhere. The door handles are going to be removed entirely, so it's not like you're even going to know the doors are there, so I'm not too worried about it. Which only leaves us now with fitting the rear wheels and cutting them out. Obviously I do have a PB big brake kit for the rear. I probably should try and fit it, because it'll obviously sort of dictate, you know, if I need a spacer to clear the caliper, then I'll have, you know, the fender flares will need to be in a different location, or I don't know. They should clear. They were designed to clear these wheels. They clear on a Brera, and I don't know. Worried now. Maybe I should, but I can't really be bothered. Maybe I'll just do one side. Yeah, maybe that's how I'll do it. I'll just do the one side, not fit the other side. There's no need to. You know, if it clears on one, it's going to clear on the other. So let's crack on with taking these rear brakes off. Oh yeah. Yeah, that might be because obviously I've replaced these brakes and put some EBC discs and pads in when I was daily driving the car. So that's probably why I've been able to do this. There we go. Now we are actually once again in a situation where we have no idea if these are going to fit, just like the fronts. I mean, I was quite confident with the fronts because I did some measuring beforehand, but the rear for the Brera and the front Brera Brembo and Giulietta Brembo share the same brakes, same calipers, so I was confident in them. The rears, I have no idea. I don't even know if this mounting bracket's going to be anywhere near. I mean, it doesn't look like it's anything near the same size. So this could be a bit of a nightmare. I don't think I can fit that in there. Thing's heavy too. Doesn't help. Unless I get super duper lucky, there's no way this is happening. Yeah, no. That's not gonna line up there at all. Okay, that's not too bad of a concern. If anything, it's saving me for today. It means issue for another time. So what I'm going to do, take this brake disc off. Take you out. I'm gonna see if I can put the caliper on. Well, I'll put the original disc on, because ideally, right, less talking, more working. Give me a sec. Right. We know it's going to be sat a tiny bit further back because we're going to have to do that when we make a custom bracket or adapt this one to make it fit. But we'll know if there's enough, you know, if there's at least, so to the widest part, that is 600 and, call it 670 from the disc. And that's, you know, as far pulled forward as it can be. 680, 690 maybe. So we know, as long as, we'll keep this original disc on, we'll put the original caliper back on, and as long as the wheel clears 700 from the disc, which hopefully it will, we'll know that these brakes will fit. That's my idea anyway. God knows how wrong it's going to be. You just see how crazy, how far they stick out. It's wild. Now, with the tape measure, we want to see 700 from the rear here, which it does see. It does clear 700 there. It looks to me like it clears 700 all the way around. I do know the previous owner of the brakes and the wheels, he said there was 3 millimeters of clearance, so you know, it's gonna be tight, but I've also got to account for the fact I am intending to push the rear caliper further back to make it fit. So I think we should be all right there. I reckon when we cut, we're gonna start by following this body line and cutting along that. Obviously, I mean, it only actually needs to come up here and cut and then back down. So we'll see anyway. We'll see how it goes. Chuck the other side wheel on and we can sit it back down. Both wheels are on, battery's on, connected. We're gonna start the car now so we can put some air in these rear bags, because otherwise, you know, once we got it on the floor, it would just go up and it'd fold the arches straight away. Wouldn't be fun times. Not going to give her too many beans because she's not in the right fuel at the minute. If you saw the last video, where we ended that video off with the car parked up outside, I left it idling while I got a few pictures and stuff. Car ended up running out of fuel on the driveway, so I then had to go and pick up some fuel. I only went Esso, not Tesco, so all I had was E10, no E5, and it is mapped for Tesco Momentum. Not running great, you can kind of tell. It's a bit shaky, a bit jittery, but hopefully it'll last long enough for us to air the car up and put her on the wheels again. Right, she's got many PSIs in her. We're running about 80 across the rear, 80 up front. Keep in mind, my highest ride setting is 65 on the front and about 40 on the 35, 40 on the rear. So I know I'm not going to have any issues with clearance when I drop this down, when I find where I've put the jack. Over here. There it is. So that's going to be lifting up that other front wheel. Yep, that's way in the sky now. But any second now, slow it down. We should have, come on, touchdown. There we go, so back wheel is on the ground. Jack is off. So she's sat obviously very, very high at the moment, which is good for us, means plenty of room. Slide the jack out. Bring it round here. I don't think I actually have any, you know, plenty of PSIs in the bags, but I don't think we've got any PSIs in the tyres. So we'll have to pump them up. We still want to be slow, but we don't need to be as slow with this side now. It's mainly while it's on the jack stands it's a big iffy. Yeah, so this tyre's quite flat here. But that is sat on the ground. Technically, you know, that should be drivable, but it'd be a nightmare if we hit any bumps. So we need to get cutting now, which is the fun part. So I obviously have no way of knowing until I air this out just how high it's going. I know it'll hit this arch because I did some testing just by jacking up the rear knuckle with the wheels on the donor car, and I know it hits, and I know it'll go lower because I've been under this with it fully aired out and I've measured, you know, I know it's probably about that thick is how thin the bags go down to, so they really go to tiny considering they inflate to about that. And I know when I jacked it up, I reckon I probably had about 20-30 mil upwards after hitting the arch where it could have gone. So if I cut on this body line and I was right on my theory, that'll be it. It'll be a piece of cake, you know, we won't have any issues. I would like to, you know, cut once, done. I don't want to, I know with the front arches we did a lot of testing where I was cutting and uncutting and whatnot, but hopefully this will be a nice easy one. And I've got the big over arch here, and you know, I can bring it down to there. It should sit wide enough, of course, so the wheel's going to go in slightly, and I'm still clear of that cut. I might actually do my first cut. I know it's a 50-50, obviously I want to do it in one cut. However, it's so risky, so I might do my first cut slightly below it just in case, because I don't want to cut out more than I have to. And I don't want to go deep either. I just want to cut the top skin, because we need to knock the other skin up and over and weld it on to seal it off. Oh no, there's not a bolt through there. Okay, that's fine. That might be a concern, because there's only one bolt there, and it's the bolt that goes through, that actually holds the rear bumper on, so I might have to do something funky that. But oh well, let's go for it. Oh, I was hoping I could sort of... Oh, maybe. There we go. Unfortunately, the microphone ended up dying on me at some point there. But we've got this cut up now. The inside arch is cut and bended over. So we've got a reasonable bit of extra clearance now. So I'm going to repeat it on the other side. And obviously air it out. Once we know we've got the clearance, then we'll move into jacking it up, taking the wheels off, welding this all down. Because obviously that's going to add our structural integrity back in a little bit, and obviously get rid of all these sharp edges and all that good stuff. So onto the other side now. If it clears with just the rear aired down and the front aired up, it's actually sitting ever so slightly lower than when the whole thing's aired out. So if we get clearance here, we'll be laughing. Fingers crossed. Let's do it. Ooh, that's getting close. But we're down to 6 psi there, yo. We are really, really low. No, we're hitting on this side. So it needs to go a little bit further. Yeah, you can see it's starting to go into the tyres. Right, turn it back off. No clearance. No clearance this time. We are going to have to cut higher, which might be a pain now. We've bent all this stuff down. But what I think we're going to do, no, we'll do it. We'll keep it how it is for now. On the wheels, on the floor, whatever. We'll bend these back down, cut again. It was here it was hitting, to be honest. Cut again. We're only going to take a couple, you know, maybe 10, 20 mil off. See how it goes then. Right, we've managed to get clearance. I know I'm being cheeky by not showing you guys, but you're going to have to stick around to the end to see it. So, we're going to take this wheel back off now. We're going to be bashing all this up as much as we can, just to give us any extra bits we can gain. And then we need to grind all this down, weld it all. Probably grind it first, to be honest. Now we're going to want to bash all this up as much as we can. And with any decent luck, we should be able to get this all welded together nicely. Bring the welder over. So we are almost there. The arches are cut, welded, seam sealed, and I think, to be honest, I think I've done a really nice job of the seam sealer compared to in the previous video when we did the front inner arches. I made a big mess of them. I just lathered it on everywhere. Took ages to dry, especially because some areas were so thick. On this one, we've gone a little more reserved, kept it a bit thinner, but it looks a hell of a lot tidier. So let's get it started, air it up, get it off the jack stands, because it does have clearance. And I mean, only just. Drop the fronts a bit more out the rear. Starting to get a bit tight now. 6 psi on that side. Down to 10 on this side. We are all the way out on this side. And all the way out there too. It is tiny, ridiculously small, the amount of room we have. The whole thing out, front and rear. You know, we can barely, you know, maybe got 2 millimeters of clearance. Same on this side, yeah. 1 millimeter, if that, 0.5 millimeter, I reckon, in some spots. But it is sat all the way down, completely on the floor. It looks ridiculous. It's gonna look wild. All that's left to do now, to give this whole area a nice sanding, tape it up, we can stick our arch on. Same way we did on, same process as we did with the fronts. Then we can drill our holes and get it riveted on. That should be about right, I reckon. So the reason for the tape, in case you haven't seen the videos where we did the front arches, is one, because we are going to hot glue the arches on so we can get a rough idea, you know, of where we want it to sit, because we could just, you know, pop the arch on like that and then try and mark it and drill it, and it just wouldn't go well. So we hot glue the arch on for the time being. Lets us get a rough idea of where we want it to be. We can make adjustments. Then we can mark. The tape also helps with the marking. Obviously, sometimes trying to put a pen onto metal doesn't really want to work. So it just makes life easier for us across the whole thing. But as you can see there, that is sitting pretty epic. That is absolute arch to lip. Perfect fitment. I think somewhere like there is likely going to be how I'm going to sit it, which is diabolical fitment. Absolutely diabolical. But yeah, that's going all the way at the front. I can drill all them in. That's alright. And we can drill all that in. Yeah, looks good to me. Now we're going to get a knife, cut that, because we really kind of want to retain the masking tape where we can, so we can see the drill marks. So we're going to get a Stanley blade, cut the arch off, then we can drill the holes all the way through and rivet it on. That's the rear of it off. Boom. There's the front of it off as well. Boom. And we've still got our little marks where we know we need to drill, which is really nice. Just dodged a weld. That one maybe not. That one's miles off, so we'll start down here anyway. Right, take the tape off. We have got one down here that I weren't able to get through. I'm assuming it's in the weld of the door. It's a bit of a pain, but we'll see what we can do. Got most of them anyway. You want to try and put all your rivets in first, because sometimes, like I think we have here, you might realise that some of them are bloody miles out. It does get it, just get them as far in as we can. And let's go for it. This one first. And then come back, air it up, finish riveting that off, and we can drive it outside and do a final air out, and it'll sit on the arches and it'll look insane. After a couple more hours of work, I can see it, the arches are on, it looks insane, so I'm going to pull her out and you can have a look. Oh, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Gonna get a bit more angle on it, so it's at a nice 45 degrees for you. I might shut that arch on real quick, and then we're just gonna go for the full air out. No pussyfooting around it. It's going all the way to the floor. If it damages something, I'll sort that later. I think I can say with full confidence, you've never seen a Giulietta this crazy. Holy shit. Rear fitment, perfect, beautiful. Front fitment, perfect, beautiful. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that. What a job. I'm buzzing with that. And the view from the rear, this thing is diabolically wide. Holy crap. I'm happy with that, guys. I'm very happy with that. It's the dish, it's the deep dish, it's the 4-inch lips on the rear. That's so wild. I think that's what does it, that's what makes it so crazy. Oh my god. And like that, she's back in the garage, sat on all 4 wheels, wide-bodied, 2-door converted, all the jazz. Now if you've enjoyed, make sure to drop us a like, because while it is now sat on all 4 wheels, we are still nowhere near finished. So subscribe, stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.